Welcome back. We're here at Studio 61, and we're talking finances as we get ready to wrap up this year. Denis Horrigan from the Connecticut Wealth Management is here to talk about what we need to do, what we need to keep in mind as we close out this year. Dennis, thanks for being with us.
Oh, pleasure to be here. Happy holidays.
And you as well. All right, so we're wrapping up 2022. What should we do? Any last-minute things?
Well, one thing that we always encourage people to do is to have an effective and well-constructed financial plan, because a good financial plan actually can help you account for market volatility like we've seen this year. And it can give you some peace of mind to know that, oh, I'm actually going to be in good shape, even though I've lost money perhaps in the stock market and the bond market. And it also helps you to take emotion out of the decision-making process when the markets are down like they've been this year. So just starting with a good, solid financial plan is the best first step.
All right. So once we've got that in place, what should we do as far as taking action?
So a couple of ideas for right now, as we stand in history right now, is savings rates. Interest rates on savings accounts at banks have gone up significantly. We were looking at 0% rates for, 3, 4, 5 years. Some banks haven't changed their rates, even though interest rates generally have gone up. So some banks are still only paying 0.1% on their savings accounts. If you go online and do a quick search, you can get 3.5%, 4%, even 4.5% on a savings account. So that's one.
Savings. So then start that account.
Yeah,
you're saying?
and
Okay.
perhaps move savings that you have at a traditional bank into one of those
Onto the online bank.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then taxes. Everybody hates to pay taxes in April, right? So this is a time of year to really plan to mitigate the impact of taxes. So some of the things that we're trying to help people do. Markets are down, right? Stock market and bond market is down this year. You can actually make lemonade out of the lemons that the markets have given you this year. And what I mean by that is if you have an investment that has lost money, investment in a mutual fund or stock, if you sell that investment and you harvest that loss, you bank it, you put it in your pocket. If you love that investment, you can buy it back in 31 days. But by harvesting that loss, that becomes a deduction on your taxes. Really helpful for next year and perhaps even into subsequent years.
Okay.
Another idea is
So dump the losing stocks.
Yeah, dump the losing stocks. Buy them back if you really, really love them.
After 30 days.
After 30 days. Make sure you wait 31 days before you buy it back. Yeah. Another idea as it relates to taxes is if you give to charity, which hopefully people do,
Right.
Rather than writing a check or giving cash, give them appreciated securities, appreciated stocks. If you have some investments that are still up, I hope you do, you can give appreciated securities. The charity can then sell those securities. They don't pay taxes. You don't pay taxes. Everybody wins except for the IRS, which is okay in our book.
All right. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Why not? All right. What about education funds? Things like that.
So, yeah, great. A contribution to a 529 plan is deductible in Connecticut up to $10,000. And what I mean by that is you can contribute money to a 529 plan, a Connecticut-based education plan, and the first $10,000 becomes a deduction on your Connecticut state income taxes.
Okay.
That's a nice way to save for college, which is a big, big number.
And it helps you in the taxes.
And it helps you
next year,
taxes,
right?
yeah,
So
for
is
sure.
it up to $10,000?
Yeah, up to $10,000, first
the year.
$10,000, yeah.
All right. So once we're wrapping up this year, what should we be doing to get ready for next year? Thinking about changes, things like that.
Yeah, goal setting, first of all, right? It's a time of year where we're looking at our New Year's resolutions, and just to sit down with your partner, your spouse, whomever it might be, and to make a game out of it, to actually set some goals for next year. It might be a savings goal, it might be pay down debt, it might be sticking to a budget. So that's really important, just setting those goals. And then celebrating when you actually achieve those goals in the coming year. Again, sit down maybe with a bottle of wine every quarter and say, excellent, we made our savings goals. That really helps you stay on track to achieve the goals that you've set.
Now, if somebody is watching right now and they really haven't gotten into the investment game at all, what would be your advice for them to sort of first steps? Like, what should they first dip their toe into?
Well, the best way to invest, especially in volatile markets like this, is to what we call dollar cost averaging, is putting a set amount into the markets on a regular basis. A 401k plan does this for you, right? So you put a certain amount of your paycheck into a 401k plan. The math behind dollar cost averaging, setting a certain dollar amount to go into investments on a regular basis, the math is inarguable. It's a really good way to get into investing, and really it helps your long-term performance. So just set a goal for a certain dollar amount you want to put in on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, and just stick to it.
And what about other education? What about other funds for kids other than education?
Well, you know, one of the things that when we
Or what do you suggest?
well, anything you can do. It's tough to max out a 529 plan. 529 plan is the best first step to go to save money for college.
And recap, that can only be used for education though, right?
It can only be used for high school and college education. However, if I have a child who I've saved a bunch of money for, and they decide not to go to college, or they get a scholarship, that
Right.
money isn't wasted.
So what can it be used for?
It can be used for one of their siblings. It can be used for a cousin. I could use it if I wanted to go to grad school.
So you could put it in anybody else's name,
Yep.
essentially.
Well,
Okay.
anybody in your kind of first line of relations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
To another child or
Yep.
blood relation.
Cousin. Yep. Blood relation. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good
Yeah.
stuff to keep in mind.
Yeah. Great.
Dennis, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Erica. Have a great holiday.
You too.
Thank
You
you.
as well. Thanks for being with us. All right. We're checking back.